Hey friends, and welcome back to the channel that helps you manage both your time and energy so that you can do what matters most. And today I'm going to share with you some lessons that I've learned from my journey living with chronic fatigue for the last 14 years. I believe these lessons will help you with your management of your time and energy, and they're the kind of things that I wish I knew before I contracted this condition. So let's get into things. The first lesson I want to talk about is about pacing ourselves. Now, pacing is a common term used when talking about chronic fatigue, and it's all about minimising the impact of the health condition in order to improve the quality of life. But we should probably use the whole aspect of pacing in our lives as well. We tend to live life at a sprint. We tend to sprint for a while and then wear ourselves out exhausted and then rest, and then when we feel just about ready again, we go off sprinting. But if you applied that, for example, to a marathon context, and often we say that life is like a marathon, then you really wouldn't make it to an end. A marathon is all about pacing yourself evenly throughout the race so that you can make it to the end and achieve what you want to achieve. Now, for me, what this looks like is having 2 hours of activity in a day, followed by 30 minutes of rest with no kind of input or anything at all in that 30 minutes. And that's fine. That's allowed me to pace myself well and become as fruitful as I can be. So the lesson here is really to pace your life according to the sort of time and energy that you have. If you feel overwhelmed, if you feel hurried, if you feel really exhausted, then you probably haven't got the pacing right. The second lesson I want to share is that having less time and less energy doesn't mean that you are less fruitful in life. Now, often because we think if we put more hours in, we can achieve more, we think that less hours, less energy means less productivity. But actually, we need to look at how we utilise our time and energy. Often we are not focused, we don't have the right perspective, and so we just waste our time and energy. Now, when you think with a scarce time and energy mindset and embrace that, actually your perspective changes. What mattered before no longer matters as much because you have to really zero in on what matters to you. Now, for me, a normal person, healthy person, probably have 8 hours of working energy a day. I probably have 4. So hand on heart, I've had to change my approach and what really matters when I work. But actually, I don't feel any less productive or fruitful than I did when I had maximum energy. So the lesson really here is limiting your time and energy on certain tasks or aspects of your life will help you to focus, work more efficiently, and ultimately lead you to do what matters most. The third lesson is about resting properly. Now, often we can have this mindset where we bundle everything else except for work into, well, I'm resting. But sitting down in front of the TV, scrolling through 5 social media channels and talking to someone isn't resting. My chronic fatigue condition has really helped me understand what pure rest is. And pure rest primarily is sleeping well. But we need to have times throughout the day where we can just cut off any inputs and stimuli into our brains, if you like, and where we can let our subconscious just rest and ideas come to the fore, and where we can just let our body recover. Now, using the analogy of charging a battery, you wouldn't sort of put a battery in a charger and sort of pull it out every 5 minutes to do something. You would leave it in there, be patient with it, and let it fully charge. And that's what we need to do with ourselves when resting properly. So the lesson here is to fully commit to your rest times. Whatever the form of rest takes for you, stay present and don't get distracted when your mind starts to wind down and wander. So that's it for today. But before we go, why not take some action? If one of these points stood out for you today, then note it down and perhaps write down what the next step is for you in order to improve in that area. Or use this Learning Circle tool, link coming up now, that can help you go through that process. I'd love to hear what you think about this video, so put your comments in the comment section below. And remember, be fruitful, and I'll see you in the next video. So that's it for today. If you found this video helpful, why not take a look at these 2 videos? Subscribe to get the latest content. And remember, be fruitful, and I'll see you in the next video.